marker. A very long title, Hunger Games. Let's go. What's going on, Alamo City Movie Talk fans? As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. Ryan 68. And this is Alamo City Movie Talk, guys. If you have not already, if you are new to the YouTube channel, be sure to like, share, subscribe to us on our Alamo City Movie Talk page for movie thoughts, movie concerns. We love talking movies, guys, here at the Alamo City Movie Talk studio. And yeah, let's get right to it, guys, and give us a thumbs up on this review, or check out our other trailer reactions. We got a lot of trailer reactions. We got a lot of movie reviews coming out this week. It's a busy. Surprisingly, it feels like it's summer of movies, but everything's coming up right now. We got Thanksgiving coming out later this week, a review coming out. We got a Christmas movie coming out early this week. We got another Christmas movie by Eddie Murphy, which I'm really excited for, because who doesn't love comedy of Eddie Murphy and Christmas together? That's all I'm saying. But let's get right to it. Angela, what are we talking about today?
So this one's an interesting one. So I love the original trilogy, or technically 4 movies. Yeah. But we are reviewing the newest installment of this chapter. It's the Hunger Games, the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. So let's get to it.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Snow mentors and develop feelings for the female District 12 tribute during the 10th Hunger Games. We saw, I got to be honest here, after when we first saw the trailer for this movie, it felt very like, oh my gosh, he fell in love with this person. What's going on? What's developing here, in a way. And I wasn't on board for this movie to begin with. I'm going to have to say that right now, guys. We did a trailer reaction, I think, a while back, and I was like, I'm not sold on this story yet. I have to wait to see what more this movie does, because I thought we were going to get more. And I get it. It's the main story follows Snow, right? I feel like they missed opportunity here to where they could have really made the story about the origin of the Hunger Games, which they kind of touched up on a little bit in here, more so. But I feel like that would have been a little bit more better in my personal opinion there. But that whatever, take that with a grain of salt. Whatever. But okay, I feel like this. With films like this, it's just. There's a lot of moments in here where I thought I was going to get, I'll be honest, I thought I was going to get more bloody, more violent. That's not the case here.
Yeah, so...
What do you think of this film, Angela? Sorry.
One of the things that I will say, it's not really a spoiler, because you kind of see a little bit in the trailer. You definitely see a different Pan Am, right? And also a different capital.
A developing Pan Am.
And also a developing capital. So it's not the ritz and glamour that you see in the Hunger Games trilogy, 4 films, in the original films, because... This is 50, 60 years before. Yeah. And this is only the 10th annual Hunger Games. And so much is different. And I actually really liked that we saw it was so different, right? A lot of things that we saw, like how the games go, how they treat the contestants, or the tributes in, both the original film and this one is completely different.
They're more poor. They're way more poor. They really elaborate on that.
But also, they just view the tributes so much less.
Unequal.
Yeah, so much less, really how they even say like savages. So I really like that we saw it was so different, because in the original films they're basically celebrities and royalty, and it's all a PR game, all a gimmick. And we really see the start of this, and we really see that Snow is actually the one who kind of
implements these.
And I thought that was really cool to see. I do say I wanted to love this film, and I didn't love it. I enjoyed it a lot. I coming from someone who hasn't read the book, any of the books, I really enjoyed the film. I loved the actors, like Rachel Zegler by herself, Tom Blythe by himself. I wasn't sold on their romance. I'm sorry. Really? Yeah, that is popular opinion. Yeah. I was not.
So Tom, he did a good job. When he came on camera, he was controlling that camera. He was genuine. I felt like he was very good as playing that character. It was all right? Let's be honest here, because the many times we got Snow, even in the Hunger Games, he would say a few lines here and there. He wasn't a major part of it, because this was Katniss Everdeen's story, right? Let's be honest, it was. And we did see moments in here where the charmness of it, though, I didn't really see that a lot in this character, in this young Snow version of himself. And and going back to where, let's talk about Rachel Zegler. So Here's the thing, and I mentioned in our reaction. I want to elaborate on that a little bit. Okay. So one of the things I want to elaborate, guys, is the fact that yes, actors and actresses, they do have accents, right? They do change accents. Christian Bale's one, Tom Holland, whatever, right? Whatever. But my point being was that the fact is that the accent did not fit her character. In my point of opinion, I felt like, Rachel Zegler. If anyone's seen her West Side Story, she has a beautiful Colombian accent, very genuine. I enjoyed her West Side Story. We talk about that. We could check out our West Side Story review back in 2021. We love that movie. That movie was her film, along with the co-star as well. So a supporting role that got nominated for an Academy Award. But regardless, Rachel Zegler, I enjoyed her accent, her native accent so much more in West Side Story. And then if you would have brought that into this movie, I've got to be honest, if you would have brought that to this movie, that probably would have made more sense in a way than it did with the way they implemented here. It's more of a Southern accent, which I did not expect because we didn't get that at all in the trailers, because in the trailers she sounds... You're just like normal American, I guess, in a way. I don't think
she talks too much. And also, I did notice that it goes away in certain scenes.
Yeah.
I think the thing, I agree with you. It wasn't so much the Southern accent that bothered me. It didn't fit the role, the environment.
It's not really a spoiler, but I guess it is. Whatever. I don't care. But the point is that, Angela, you brought up a really good point off camera here, and you, what would you say about the accent again? Like, no one else had that accent.
I understood 12. It was briefly mentioned that she said like her people, where she's from, they're not native to District 12. Yeah, but no one in District 12 had an accent similar to there. And I was like, again, it's just like nitpicking. I didn't like it. It was a little bit bothersome for me.
One of the highlights, though, I gotta say, of Rachel was the fact that her singing was so good. I enjoyed her singing. I'm not gonna lie. I really enjoyed her singing. I enjoy the moments where she was singing on camera, and they really elaborate that. Even they released a music video of her songs. I don't know which song it was. I haven't checked yet, but it was. I did see the press junket of it. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I get it. One of the things that I do also want to mention, and I think I want mention your comment as well off camera that you did. You can mention it right now. Well, Viola Davis, what was your opinion on Viola Davis in this film?
And
you're a huge fan of her. You are a huge fan. My God, Angela is nonstop talking high praise for Viola Davis. But
so the thing with Viola Davis, she's beautiful, right? I know she's almost 60. Yeah. We looked it up. She's great. The problem with this film that I didn't like was I felt like they put makeup on her that made her to make her aged. Mm-hmm. That with the hair, I didn't like it. I know it read Mad Scientist, but to me it didn't quite mesh as well. And she does an amazing villain. She's done Cold, Cruel. She's been Amanda Waller, she's done a great villain, but I wasn't sold on this character.
One of the films that she's a very villainous anti-hero was The Woman King, and she does a fantastic job in there. And
but so I didn't see that one, so
yeah, but I wanted to even more so, she has great skin. Oh my God, her skin is just it's so good. It's glowing. She doesn't look her age at all on camera, which is surprising because on camera,
Homegirl's almost 60, so
and she doesn't look her age, but
right. So I didn't like the older.
I think she looked older in Fences, which had way less makeup. With Denzel Washington had way less makeup. And it just whatever, but
I love her, and so like I said, I wasn't 100% sold on the character and where that went. Like I said, it was Mad Scientist, but it wasn't it didn't quite reach that for me. I will say though, I really did enjoy Peter Dinklage. I know he's done so many things, like I'm obviously Game of Thrones, Thor Ragnarok, but I wasn't.
Oh, Thor Ragnarok. He wasn't.
I'm sorry.
Endgame.
Sorry.
Yeah. Which was ironic because he's just short, but he was a tall guy.
I know he was. Yeah. It's great, but I really liked his character, but I also didn't understand his character.
I thought from the trailer aspect, I thought we were gonna see more major characters, and it was totally off. Like the characters, the main characters in here are not marketed in the trailer, I gotta say, and I felt like even more so. I'm not gonna spoil it for you guys, but without spoiling it. But one of the surprising.
Spoil it.
One of the surprising things in here, I actually what really surprised the heck out of me was the fact that Francis Lawrence actually, he's the one that took over as well. He did the Constantine movie, which I really loved. Constantine, that's a really great treasure of Keanu Reeves. If you haven't seen that movie, I Am Legend. He's done really good, solid films. He's did all the Hunger Games, directed all the Hunger Games, including the first one. He's directed all of them.
Second one's really good, though.
And yeah, I mean, he's directed all of them. And the major plot of all these movies, the major goal was obviously, was horrific, right? Was kids killing kids, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. But the fact is that they had special cameos in here. In my point of opinion, I feel like they missed opportunity on having special young actor cameos in here, famous people in here. I feel like they could have done in the past at the Hunger Games. Granted, it was the Hunger Games, right? This is a prequel. I get it. But in the past Hunger Games, they've always had these people that would come in, these known Hollywood people that would come in and just be like cameos, and then their story would progress on. I mean, you gotta give credit when it's due. And the casting on the Hunger Games, on the original trilogy, Part 1, Part 2, the casting was fantastic. I thought it blended very well in here. Everyone was casted very well. Even Julia Moore. I mean, everyone was casted very well. Everyone was. And then you go here, and it's like, it just feels like you haven't got taught anything. I had to take a step back, and I was just like, what the hell? Like, this is the same director. This was the same director that directed the Hunger Games. I was kind of like, what the? At first, I was taking it at a breath, and I was like, what the hell? And at the same time, though, it just, this movie felt more of a TV show than an actual theatrical cut. But yeah,
and I know you mean that as not the nicest thing to say, but I wanted it to be a TV show because I wanted it to be longer, not necessarily in one.
And that's
sitting.
fine. And that's fine. I think this would have been done a lot better as a TV show, in my point of opinion.
And I know, like our Nerd Coliseum friend Kristen, our crewmate, she did mention like TV shows nowadays have like a really good high quality production, and I felt like this would have been a really good opportunity to expand the story. Again, I have not read the book, but I think I would have liked to see it like over, I don't know, 8 episodes. That's the general one, right? Rule for shows nowadays, 8 episodes, right? I disagree with you. I love the cast. Like I said, I loved like Rachel and her role. I loved Tom and his role, Peter Dinklage, Viola Davis. But I think the cast is great. Like, I really liked it. For me, the downfall,
I feel like it was a little bit misdirected in certain things.
Yeah, like there's just a little things that would add up. I do like, though, like, again, the pre-glamorous Capitol. Yeah. And I also like how they tied in small little things here and there to the original films. There was this line in here that's very cheesy, and I was just like, granted, maybe it sounds way better in the books, and that's totally fine. But some lines do not translate well into film, and vice versa. Scenes in movies. I think Trey even mentioned something like in The Shining. It's actually like there's this one horse. It's like some kind of snake, or I don't know. I don't know. I don't remember what it was. But Trey mentioned it, and I was just like, yeah, that would not have been good in the Shining movie, and it's a totally different movie than what it is in the book. That's a fact. A totally different movie. If it would have been page by page by the book. But anyways, there's this line in the film where it's like, and snow always lands on top. And I'm just like, oh my God. I thought those one things were pretty cool.
That was cheesy. That was pretty cool. That was a little cheesy, but I was just like, okay, cool, I guess. Cool. It was all right.
I just wanted to see more of the Capitol and more of how Panem was. And I agree with you. I would love to see a pre-Hunger Games Panem. I would love to see a series. I would love to see a series.
That's what I thought That's what I thought we were gonna get. That's what I thought. In a way, I thought we were like, okay, we're gonna get the origin of the Hunger Games, kinda, and maybe Snow took part in it all, but it wasn't like that.
Because he's because in the second one, I think it's the Quarter Quell, which is 75 years.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So he would have been too old.
Too old. Yeah. True.
But I really
was this a film that we deserved?
Yes, it is a film we deserve, and we deserve another prequel. Pre-Hunger Games.
Okay, so I mean, we always talk about sequels. You always talk about money, and that's the thing too, because moviegoers have to see this. But I feel like it's coming at a weird time to where I don't even know if moviegoers know this is coming out this week.
I didn't even know it was coming out.
Yeah,
it was heavily marketed like at the beginning of the year.
Yeah,
but I think it like
because of maybe because of the strike and everything. The strike finally ended, by the way, guys. This past weekend, but I don't know. But rating 1 out of 10, 10 be the highest. I'm just going to give this rating
6.5.
Damn, I'm going to give it a solid 5. And I didn't hate it. That's the thing. I did not hate it. I just didn't love it as much as everyone else did.
Love it, but I actually really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. Love the cast. Yeah. The singing was great.
I can't wait to see more of what Rachel does, because she's coming from a long way from West Side Story, and I enjoyed her in West Side Story a lot. I enjoyed her just sentimental moments, her on-camera glamorous. I loved her. I really did. And the one thing is that, you know, she needs to carry that over to the next film. The next film, she's playing Snow White as well, in the Disney Snow White. So that's really gonna take part in it, right? Obviously, but her singing, I have no problem with her singing Snow White songs. I don't have a problem with it whatsoever, because she's a great singer. She really is, right?
Yeah. I mean, she's phenomenal. But I will say, as like my final thoughts, I haven't seen Tom Blythe in anything. I know he's like primarily in the show, like Billy the Kid. Yeah. But I couldn't stop seeing this famous TikToker Chris Olsen every time I saw him. And and no one agrees with me. TikTok. No one agrees with me, but I think he's like the doppelganger of Chris Olsen. So I will leave that as my final thought.
All right, leave it at that, guys. Thank you so much for making this a part of your day. And the question is for you guys: what did you think of this movie, guys? Are you excited for this? I got. Let me one more statement before we go, guys. One more statement. I think this movie is not for the Hunger Game. I mean, I think this movie is more for the Hunger Game fans of the book, in my opinion. I think this is more book related. I feel like this is way more like, oh, you're gonna get this, because I feel like we missed a lot. We didn't get a lot of stuff, and that's maybe why, because that's no wonder why Kristen thought it was so amazing and everything, because she did read the books, right? But we didn't. I didn't.
Yeah, I think Eileen also read the book too.
And so I feel like this is more for the Hunger Games fans. But you gotta remember, guys, you gotta show up to the theater if you want a sequel, because if not, Lionsgate's gonna lose money. That's all I'm saying, because I don't have that. Yeah, I don't know if this movie's gonna make a lot of money. It's either this or Thanksgiving. What are you gonna see? I don't know. We'll find out. We see Thanksgiving later this week, so I'm excited for that as well. But yeah, thank you so much for making this a part of your day. As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. Ryan680. And this is Alamo City Movie Talk, guys. Question is for you once again, guys. What did you think of this film? Are you excited for it? Are you going to see it out at a theater near you? Put a comment down below. And thank you for making this a part of your day. Stay safe, time. So peace.